Okay, sorry if you can hear the shower running. Not much I can do about that at the moment. But let's go ahead and talk through the TBR for this Summerween. By the way, I love these. These are from Book Bestie UK on Etsy. I highly recommend them. They're just there. I'm gonna try some other sellers, but I love those. I have seven, I think. Wait, 2. So the first book I'm going to be reading, because I'll probably get through this today. I've got a ton of school I need to do. I've got a ton of other stuff I need to do. But this one, I'm pretty positive I can get through today. And it is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. This is sort of like a slasher summer camp vibes. It felt, that's spam. It felt perfect for Summerween. It's summery, but it's still horror. And I'm pretty sure it actually fits some of the stuff on the cover. By the way, I need to take photos so I can post these on Insta. So I'm gonna put those over there. Okay, that's the first book. And then, because of another series that I'm doing this year, where I'm reading romance, I have these 2 romance books to read. It might be a challenge. Okay, but we have Looking for Love in All the Haunted Places, because I'm doing a romance challenge. So we got this guy, which I think fits one of the criteria for Instagram as well. And we have Dead Lake by Dean Koontz. Why do I always want to call her Dean Koontz? Anyway, this is one of my favorite horror authors. She writes modern gothic horror, and I love hers. This is one of her middle grade, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I found it in the young adult section at a bookstore, so maybe not. Who knows? It was a used bookstore. Then we have Cursed Cruise. So excited about this. Sorry. Who are we by? I don't know because my library covered it up. I'll have it here on the screen. But anyway, I kind of like their first book, but I'm excited to try their second book. I thought their series would have potential, but it was kind of a rough start. So since they're sort of an interconnected universe, but not fully connected, I figured I'd try this one. Then I have 2. Been wanting to try him for a long time. I did start NDNF My Heart is a Chainsaw, but I'm gonna try again. The large print was the only one I could get in time for this from my library, so that's what we got. But we're gonna be trying My Heart is a Chainsaw, and we're going to be trying The Only Good, The Only Good Indian. Oh, no, sorry, Only One Good Indian. Then, of course, because it's a tradition at this point for Summerween for me, I have a T. Kingfisher book, which is the sequel to Ones That Move the Dead. The ability to not scream out loud when I found this on the near shelf at my library organically was insane. So yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of The Ones That Move the Dead. I've liked a lot of other things that T. Kingfisher has written, but I'm willing to try the sequel. We'll see. We'll see. And we have, this is Death by Kate Cumberson, I think. Again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing anything. Dyslexia and this font do not get along. But this is a YA horror, supposedly. Again, just something I randomly picked up at my library. I did a Mad Dash Panic library run the other day. Then we've got Ghosted, which is a book I purposely picked up by James Podrick. I don't know how to pronounce that surname. I got this last year in anticipation for, I think, Halloween, and just didn't get to it in October. We're going to be reading it this week. Maybe. We'll find out. And then Death in the Woods. This is a cozy mystery series, the second book in a cozy mystery series, and I'm excited to get into it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 books in, I think, a 7-day read along, which, yeah, as somebody who generally reads a book a day, is not terrible when I'm focusing on getting through them. We'll see. Probably a lot of these I'm going to be reading on Audible on audiobook, not Audible specifically, just because of the sheer amount of everything I have to get through. So, see you guys later. With my dad being in the hospital, I'm there a lot and I'm reading when I'm there, and for obvious reasons I don't want to show that, just because A, it would be a nightmare. I would need to get permission from the hospital, and B, my dad's sick. Like, I don't want to do this to him. He doesn't care about social media. Other members of my family do, which is fine, whatever. And yeah, so let's just talk about these two books really briefly, because again, I obviously didn't take my camera to the hospital, like duh. And the hospital he is at has a very strict policy, because there are literally signs everywhere saying you can't be posting on social media, no cameras, no audio, blah blah blah. So if I was the one in the hospital, I might feel a little different, but I'd probably just be posting on Instagram. So let's talk about him. Okay, so this guy, unfortunately, all my footage of talking about it got corrupted. I hate it. I've already thrown that memory card away. It's done. It's fucked me over a bunch this year, but it's gone, so we're not gonna worry about that. But anyway, this is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, and I freaking love this. I immediately want to read everything that this author has written. This is one of her smaller books, but this is a slasher. It's a YA slasher. It's set on the set of a fictional horror movie. Now, I've heard a title of a horror movie, a slasher movie, similar to the title in this book, so I'm certain that there's one out there that's very similar. I just can't place it, but this is so much fun. I will say, subverted expectations in the best way possible. It does jump the shark, but again, in the best way possible. We have characters that aren't making smart decisions, but they're making them based off of what their friend tells them is horror movie rules. So they're making horror movie decisions because of that. But we have a group of teenagers that are at a camp that was used as a horror movie. And they have a horror experience where they recreate the camp movie, and it's like an escape room horror experience, extreme haunted house kind of vibes. And everybody that works for the camp lives at the camp during the season. Now, it doesn't actually say what time of year, but I'm going to assume it takes place in the fall, even though it doesn't say, just because people are talking about like grabbing sweaters and stuff. But it could be like, I don't know, Michigan in the summer. So yeah, okay, so that happens, and then like weird stuff starts to occur. You okay, baby butt? Check my baby. Weird stuff like Charity, who is our main character, ends up going to the shower room, and the door is unlocked. The door is always supposed to be locked. This is only accessible to staff, and she just hightails it out of there. Smart decision. I mean, I would have done the same thing, because like, really, either someone's in the shower and that's why the door is unlocked, or something is very wrong and there's no reason to be there. Okay, that happens. And then three staff members go missing, and they just aren't there. They don't call, they don't show, they don't do anything, they just poof. But whatever, they have no shows, so they figure it out. So she calls a couple of friends up, and they are going to have their last 2 shows of the season before shutting the camp down for the year, and they are going to move on. Now, Charity does not have a good home life. Her mom's boyfriend is a dick, and he is borderline abusive to her. Her mom is an absent parent, and it's just not a good situation. So we end up doing the second to last show of the season, and he and they have the crazy neighbor show up. The crazy neighbor has a shotgun and is flailing it around and freaking out, and everybody panicked because this is not a part of the show. This is not supposed to happen. Like, everything is choreographed, everything is timed, everything is planned. It's a production. And they end up calling the sheriff, and of course he's the typical horror movie sheriff who just thinks these kids are out here being hooligans. So he takes this woman home, doesn't do anything about it, and okay. So then things really kick off when they find a dead owl. That is very important. Okay, things really kick off when they find a dead owl. And then it begins. And just crazy stuff happens. Wacky stuff happens. There is an ancient society in this, of course. There are rumors of the land and everything, and there is sequel baiting in the epilogue, and I just want the sequel so bad it's not even funny. So that's this book without really any spoilers. The dead owl comes very early, and like I said, it's one of the first like real indicators that something weird is happening. It isn't obvious, if that makes sense. Like, it's not overt. Like, you don't really know, and there are points in this where you don't know if this is going to turn into like a cryptid horror, a monster feature, or if this is going to stay strictly as a supernatural thing, or very, very 80s slasher movie. Or if this is going to turn out that like the whole thing, for a while, honestly, and this I can reveal because it's not a spoiler, for a while I was thinking that it was going to turn out that this was actually a horror movie being filmed, and they wanted like genuine reactions, so they were putting them in this position of a horror movie and not telling them they were in a horror movie, and it was going to basically, the lights were going to come up, people that weren't supposed to be alive anymore were going to come back on set, and it was just going to be this whole thing. That's not where it went. But like, that would also be a really good book, now that I say that. I know it's been done, but like, that's not where this goes. This is exactly what it says. It is a slasher, just as ridiculous as an 80s slasher, and just as wacky. So that's what this guy is. And then I DNF'd In the Dark Woods by Anne Rainer? I'm not sure. I really like the first book in the series. It's a cozy mystery series with a cryptozoologist, but this one, I don't know, it's a lot darker, it's a lot more gruesome, it's a lot, I don't know, I got to like, I don't even remember, page, chapter 10 or something, and I didn't want to read it anymore. The first 4 chapters I was in. After that I was a little bored, but whatever. Again, it's the second book in a cozy mystery series. Sometimes there's a little bit of world building and fleshing things out. And then I just got bored, and I don't know, it felt too much like the first book in this series, and like, I realized that cozy horror is formulaic by design. That is the way these books are structured, and that's fine. But this wasn't like repetitive by design. It wasn't the formula per se. It was almost repetitive being derivative of book 1. And it felt like, because book 1 is like a Nessie-like monster that takes place in Door County, in a specific part of a lake up in Wisconsin where lots and lots of shipwrecks have happened. And there's supposedly like a Loch Ness type monster there. And that's where that takes place. This one takes place in the upper part of Michigan, and it is way more gruesome than book 1, which is weird because I just read a slasher book, and like the gore in that, although it's YA, it's still there. It's like very present, and it's pretty visceral. And for some reason the gore in this is just, it's worse somehow. And then there are also just other factors going on here that I don't like. There are I don't know, there are weird dynamics going on because we have the woman who hires our person, who is some sort of ranger for, I think, the state for the like fish and wildlife, and like her job is to like investigate poaching, animal death, human deaths caused by animals, etc. And then the sheriff comes, and he's just a horrendous person, and there's like this weird almost romantic tension between those two characters, and like he's a horrible person, and I just no. So I like hopped out of that real quick. And then, I don't know, the investigation is where it really started to feel almost identical to the first book. Like, it's not at all. Like, there are different characters completely, but it felt almost reskinned of the first book. And it's just not for me, so I DNF'd that. And currently, I am reading Cursed Cruise. So, I had a big debate yesterday of which one I was going to read, and I'm currently reading Cursed Cruise. So that will be in probably Wednesday's video, because I'm filming it today and tomorrow. So yeah, I will see you guys on Wednesday. So I was just going through this This is Summerween Insta, looking for the Insta challenge for this year, because every year they have the like regular Summerween challenge, and then they have the Instagram Summerween challenge. And I really love that this year, I'll have it up on them. I'll have it up over here. They have a bingo card instead of just like a list. They also have the list. This is brilliant, and there's like a few extra fun things in here, so let's go ahead and tick them off together because this is kind of fun. So let me go to Instagram, and this is my like book specific Instagram. I just started it like a month ago, so there's nothing really exciting about it. Okay, let's I know there's a way to do this. I just have to remember, because I have not been really active on Instagram in a really long time. There we go. Okay, so read a book in a dark. I normally read at night. Let's change that color to something more obvious, but let's erase that first. Let's go back to the big marker. Let's do purple. Okay, read a book in the dark. I do that practically every night. Read a book that is thriller or horror. I just finished a horror. Read a book outside. Again, something I basically do every day, just in my normal like life. Okay. Read a book that takes place in the summer. I don't know, because like the time of year that is You're Supposed to Die Tonight taking place in the summer? I don't know. I don't know if it's taking place in the summer. Like, it's set on a summer camp turned into a horror movie, and then things happen. But like, is it really in the summer? That's a good question. Read a book with 5 words in the title. All right, let's count. If not, I think I have one. This is the one that I'm the most worried about, like, actually accomplishing. Not that I have to accomplish anything, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it actually does. See, it has You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't believe I'm getting so many on this first one. Okay, watch a scary movie. Read a book that takes place in the summer. I'm not sure that this takes place in the summer. Listen to a Halloween playlist. I haven't done that yet. Watch a scary movie. Read a book with, oh, I totally did the wrong one there. Thank you, dyslexia, for being so helpful. Read a book with 5 words in the title. Bagel Fall Treat. I need to do that. I haven't done that yet. Read a book with a night sky on the cover. You know what? I think I have more that can fulfill that, and I already have 4 just for this one. So let's go ahead and post. Like, I'm honestly kind of a little bit like amazed at how much Instagram has changed. And I have not been consistent on any social media at all. In months, and just because of like reasons, working on changing that. But okay, that's posted. Alrighty, a lot. I got a lot of those things ticked off for that, but let's go ahead and run down the other ones. I know that there's a couple on Instagram that I'm just not gonna get. So, okay, poster TBR. I just did that. I will have the story up here. I'll have to take out the music because I went with cover music because it's fun. So I've done that. Okay. This one I know I'm not gonna get because my TBR just simply doesn't have these colors in it. Post a book photo with spines that are orange, pink, and purple making a sunset. I know I don't have that. I might have those books somewhere, but I know that's not gonna happen. Post your reading routine. I'm gonna film that tomorrow. I'm actually gonna make a whole video about that. How I read so much, why I read so much, where I find the time, etc. Post your current read. I'm basically doing that every day. So that's not my current read. This is what I'm reading next, which is Cursed Cruise, I think. If I'm reading that correctly. Post a book with orange and black on the title. I think I might have that in my stock. I'm not sure. Post a book in nature. I do need to actually post that, but again, I read outside practically every day, so I can take a better photo tomorrow. And post your final read. So that's like the Instagram portion, and then Summerween in general. Read a book in the dark, which again, like I said, I do every day, which I did on the thing. Read a thriller or a horror. Again, I'm doing that a lot. Read a book with the night sky. Maybe we'll call this the night sky. I'm not sure. Read a book with 5 words or more. I've done that, and I've got another book to do that with. And read a book that takes place in the summer. So this one might also take place in the summer. I'm not sure. This one is the Cozy Mystery and Sweat Camp, which is also technically nature on the book itself. So if I took a picture of this book in nature, this one also has 5 words on the title, The Death in the Dark Woods. So I don't know. I kind of want to read this one next. I kind of want to read this one next. I'm kind of leaning more towards this one just because. So yeah, but anyway, I am doing pretty darn good considering my life. But anyway, like I said, I was going to try and put this video up on Monday and then my TBR video up today, which is Saturday, but it's just not in the cards. So these will probably be going up on Sunday, hopefully, and then I will have another reading vlog up on Tuesday. But I would like to read 2 books in each reading vlog. And although this one's big, it's pretty fast paced. So decisions. I think I'll read the first chapter of both and then decide. Okay, I officially finished the first book of Summerween, which I was hoping to have this be a separate video from my TBR, but it's not happening. This is not what I was expecting, and it was what I was expecting all at the same time. It kind of jumped the shark a smidge, but in the perfect, crazy, stupid slasher movie way. Like, it worked. And generally jumping the shark does not work, but it worked in this context. It is a fast read. The only reason I'm finishing this at 5:30 the night after is because I had tons of work and school and like life shit I had to do. Otherwise I would have just plowed through this in one sitting. It is fantastic. It's enjoyable. It's fast-paced. It is not what you're expecting, and it is setting up for a sequel in the best slasher way possible. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to give a lot away. Just because after the last update, everything I would tell you would be a spoiler, so I don't want to reveal anything. But just, ow, thought I hit myself in the face. Just, it's incredible. It's incredible. I don't know if I can get you to focus. There we go. It's official. I am DNFing Death in the Dark Woods. I got to, I think, where did I get to? Chapter 13, and I don't know. I'm just not feeling it anymore. I was feeling it for like the first 10% of the book, and then after that it just kind of fell off, which is really sad because I really love this author and I really love this series, but I don't know, this one's much more gruesome. Maybe that's it. Like, it's much more gruesome. I don't know. I tried. I really did. I tried to push through, but instead we're just gonna move right on to Cursed Cruise, and I will probably finish that by the end of the day. I have to fit it in with schoolwork and stuff, and I've decided I'll be filming my reading routine tomorrow because I just have too many other things I have to do today. I don't have time to add in filming, so that's the plan. But this guy is just gonna go back to the library because I tried. Like, it's good, it's not bad, it's just, I don't know if this is the mood reader in me talking and like I'm not in the mood for it, or if like I really genuinely don't like this book. I don't know, there are some dynamics in here that are uncomfortable. There's some other things, and obviously they're supposed to be, but like, reading is supposed to be pleasurable, and I don't have the time to deal with that. Besides, I'm in a law class right now, so like I don't have the time. But yeah, so this is gonna go. I'm DNFing it. I'm very sad about it, but what can I do?